This time I got to make Eric watch something, and I made Eric watch something that I think is pretty good, because I decided not to make you watch something that was, like, bad on purpose, or something that I couldn't remember if it was actually good or not, like in the case of my last pick when we did Child's Play. Today I made Eric watch Creed, the latest in the Rocky series, now Rocky into the Creed series, since we know we're getting another Creed sequel. I usually hold these in my hand, and I have my copy, but I can't find it suddenly right now. So anyway, but we did watch Creed, and Eric, I was really surprised that you missed this one.
Yeah, I just didn't get a chance to see it in theaters. I didn't have money or something.
I had the same thing. It took me a while before I finally watched it, actually.
And I just never got around to watching it. You talked about doing it as you made me watch, so I just never prioritized it.
Yeah. I wish I'd done this a long time ago. But anyway, so now you've seen the film.
Well, and I should say, I'm a big fan of the Rocky series. I love all of the Rocky movies. I don't know why. I don't care about boxing. I don't care about sports movies. I have not gone back to 5 in quite a while.
My first watch through, I liked 5 more than 4, and then watched them again and was like, I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about.
But, like, 4 and 5, I think, are both, like, good, bad movies. Like, I enjoy making fun of 5. I enjoy making fun of 4.
I feel like I can still take it a little bit more seriously than 5.
Well, that's because 5's trying to be a serious film.
And it's really
failing.
Goofy. Yeah.
But I love all of the Rocky movies. I really love all the Rocky movies. So, yeah, it is weird that I didn't get to
grow up with them.
And I did. It was a big thing for me and my dad.
Yeah.
We always watched whenever they're on TV.
It's one of Sarah's favorite franchises, and she finally showed them to me when we were, back when we were engaged a couple years before we got married.
I didn't see 4 until...
And I watched...
5-6 years ago.
I watched...
4's the last one I saw.
I watched the first... Oh, interesting. Well, I watched the first, all the way up through Rocky Balboa in a week, in 6 days. Now there's a Rocky movie for every day of the week.
I remember my friend telling me that there's a robot in 4 and being like, that's dumb. That's not... You must be thinking of a different franchise. There's no robot in the 4th movie of Rocky.
People make too big of a deal out of the robot. It is bizarre, to be sure. People talk about it like it's a plot point or something, you know? Like Johnny Five is there doing things, you know? And like, there's like a big, you know, 3rd act action sequence where he's flying around or something. But anyway,
but we watched Creed.
What was your take on Creed?
Starring Michael B. Jordan, which thank God he got to do this. Because I don't know if you know this, but he turned down Straight Outta Compton to do Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Thank God he got to make this movie.
That's lucky. That's lucky for him. That's lucky for us.
Because he's a wonderful actor. And it would really suck if he got stuck in, like, movie prison because Fantastic
Four. And I
Four.
think this is the best performance I've seen from him.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a lot. I've seen Chronicle, I've seen Fantastic Four. I want to say there's something else I've seen him in, but I haven't seen, like...
That's probably about all I've seen.
His whole...
Now that I'm thinking about it.
But it's great. It's wonderful. It's everything that I think I wanted Rocky Balboa to be.
Yeah, I had the same thing.
Because I like Rocky Balboa, but Rocky Balboa is Rocky again. In the same way that 5 is in some ways Rocky... Like, Rocky Balboa is a better version of 5.
Yeah. Because Rocky Balboa is almost... like, it's not as genuine as they think it is.
No, it comes off a little sappy.
A little sappy, yeah.
This does not have that problem. This is maybe the most authentic to the first Rocky film of any of them, of any of the subsequent sequels.
It might critically be the best since the first one.
I think it might be. I'm gonna say definitively it is, because you like 2 more than I like 2.
Yeah.
I think critically this is absolutely the best film since the first one. It's on par with the first one, I think. I think it's just...
I mean, it helps that it's... The central character is a different person, so it's easier
you can finally tell a different story.
Yeah.
No, what I loved about this was that this was the kind of soft rebooty thing done right, where, like, this is not Rocky again. This is not just that story again.
No, but squarely set in the same universe.
Set in the same universe, and, like... One of my favorite things about this is that the driving force of the plot is not the big fight against the champion like it is in Rocky. We get to that point, but the impetus for story is that he wants to be a boxer. And the big fight comes later because of things he's done. Because of choices he made. And, like, so
the question all the way through is what his motivations really are and why he feels the need to be a boxer, whether or not that is a good idea or a bad idea.
Yeah, and you deal with that a lot.
Legacy and
a lot more
personal legacy.
realistically and humanly than I
Identity.
think we do in any of the Rocky movies. Like, in the first Rocky, like, you talk about boxing, where you, like, Rocky talks about boxing where it's like, well, you gotta be real stupid to want to get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Like, this talks about, like, the health risks of boxing, and that, like, and because of that, because we keep cutting to his mom reacting, the stakes feel so much higher, because I know that, like, all of these characters are gonna have, like, 100 boxing matches, and, like, all of that, but, like, when you get to that final fight, I'm worried he's going to be dead by the end of it. Like, I'm worried he's going to be brain dead, at the very least, by the end of the fight. Like, every punch, like, oh god, he got punched in the head!
Wouldn't it be really sad if that's where this franchise was going? Where we get 4 or 5 Creed movies and he's just a complete idiot by the end. He's this really smart person that went through school and he had somewhat of an elite education and he had money and it was the opposite of Rocky. But he insisted on fighting, trying to find himself.
And he ends up being Rocky. No, I think he's a fascinating character.
Yeah.
Really complex, like completely.
This is a hard thing to do, right? Because stories are about characters who want something, and I don't really know what he wants. Besides,
why he doesn't know what he wants.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to box. That's the against not just all odds, but all sense, right?
It's that thing that didn't work in Iron Fist.
We know what he wants. Yes. But we don't understand the psychology behind it, and as he's finding that, or at least this is what I think the movie is about. As he's discovering who he is, we're discovering who he is, and when he gets to the end and he sort of kind of spells it out, it doesn't feel like forced or heavy-handed.
No, it feels like he just realized it.
Yeah, where he's like, I had to make sure that I wasn't a mistake.
Yeah, no.
And I kind of forgot all about that. Like, I keep having to remind myself that he's an illegitimate child.
Which I thought was dealt with really, really well.
Yeah.
Because that does feel like a thing. It's like, well, yeah, there was a kid that nobody ever knew about, so we can make this movie. But, like, it's an integral part of his character.
Yeah.
He shouldn't
exist.
He has to be an illegitimate child.
Yeah.
No, I thought this film was wonderful. Like, I mean, I think everybody agrees. Like Creed is a wonderful film.
What did you think of the girlfriend angle and how she parallels with Adrian? And
I mean, I've never been the biggest fan of Adrian, so like I thought she was way better than Adrian.
But I just mean like I don't know. I think the parallels are kind of interesting.
Yeah. No, absolutely. She's Adrian if Adrian had drive.
Yeah.
Because Adrian doesn't actually have any goals. She's just kind of scraping by. And that makes sense for where Rocky is and the kind of people that Rocky associates with. Is he lives in kind of the slums of society, and those are the people he associates with people who are just getting by. Because he's just getting by. She's not exactly that. I mean, they don't live in like a nice place, but like she's an artist. And
yeah.
she has a drive and she has a goal, and she has her own life outside of Creed. And the actress is great.
She's amazing. They keep skirting the line of possibly making her unsympathetic, and it's just more complicated than that.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. Like we continue the Rocky trend of making sure that if people do stupid things or are unfair to each other, there's always consequences.
Mm-hmm.
And we do that on both sides with them, and I really appreciate it.
And I like that there's not like an obvious parallel for every character. Like there is no Paulie.
No. We don't have analogs.
Yeah.
We have some really cool mirrors, but again, it's more complicated than that. I think the progressive hearing loss idea is inspired.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I really like the idea that as he's going after something that we don't even understand initially why he feels the need that he has to have beyond he's got too much of his father in him, he's his father's son. She's trying to hold on to something as long as she can that she can't have forever. But then, it's interesting that also, at the same time as it's a mirroring, is a parallel to Rocky and ultimately will be to Creed, where they can't be boxers forever. Because your body won't hold out.
But she's also like them. She's a fighter. Like we keep talking about that. Like I have a theory that in a later film, I think he's going to get hit the wrong way and he's going to lose his hearing.
Oh, that's interesting.
And she's going to have to help him with that. That's my theory.
Yeah, that could happen. A lot of big story risks in this that are really impressive that they worked out. Like Rocky having cancer could have been so sappy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and the montage could have been sappy. I think that montage works.
I love that when he finds out he has cancer, his immediate reaction is, when they tell him he has to go through chemo, he's like, yeah, my wife went through that. It didn't work out.
Yeah, and the way he almost breaks down,
yeah,
is killer.
Yeah. No, Stallone's amazing in this. I've always said
he could have gotten an Oscar again.
He did.
Oh, did he?
He got nominated.
Did he get nominated? Okay.
No.
I couldn't remember. I thought something in this movie got nominated, but I couldn't remember if it was him.
I
think Jordan deserved it too.
Jordan absolutely deserved it. I've always felt Stallone is a really good actor trapped with a voice that makes people not take him seriously, and kind of the way his mouth is.
Right.
But I think does
it almost work when he's older because he's getting elderly, and so he already.
I mean, he did win an Oscar for Rocky.
Well, that's true. Sure. I'm just saying, maybe getting older makes it less silly.
But when you look at Rocky and you look at First Blood, those are two completely different people. I think he's a really good actor.
Yeah, right.
And it's really nice.
I think he's a great writer. But
yes. But I think it's really nice that he gets to come back and do another, really do a role. And it's the role that made him famous. It's the role that he's most known for. But he really gets to play it again and really. I don't know when the last time I saw Stallone show up where he wasn't kind of a joke.
Yeah.
Or in the Expendables movie.
Balboa, but again, that was.
And he made that.
And he made that. That's true.
And he's
not a joke in his own film.
And Rambo, he's not joking in Rambo, but that's a horse for another color. I have one complaint with the film, and one of them that's just kind of like a mulligan. There is no I don't think there's a satisfying conclusion to the fight. Not that there isn't. I mean, you're stuck in a bad place with that.
It's really hard not just to repeat what
you either go the distance and don't win like Rocky, or you win, and either of those options feel obvious.
Yeah.
And there's no way around it. But that's just.
Yeah, and you can't be in a rematch situation again.
Yeah.
You can't do that, because the way they get around it with the first movie is it's a tie. And you can't do that again.
Yeah. So, my one complaint with the film is I think the villain is not fleshed out enough at all. He's a cartoon character, and at the very end of the movie, he seems like a human being. Where all of a sudden he has respect for Creed. I needed some more time with him, like we have with Apollo Creed. I need him to be more
villain,
human.
Really?
The opponent.
Yeah, sure.
Because he's such a jerk and he's such a hothead.
He's not the antagonist of the film.
No.
He's introduced real late. And
yeah. I wish he was fleshed out a little bit more.
Yeah, no,
because we're talking about him the whole movie.
Because you're right.
He is the champ.
It does kind of feel like when you get to the end, now he's almost artificially sympathetic.
It would be like if Clubber Lang was the villain of Rocky 1.
Yeah.
We're okay, he's a big angry guy who can't control his temper and is just a jerk, and then for no reason.
That much of a jerk. You got one scene where he's baiting him on TV.
He's also a jerk in the ring, and he punches that other. He can't take trash talk in that, because remember, he's supposed to have a different fight with a different person, and that person says something to him, and he turns around and punches that guy and shatters his jaw.
Oh, that's right.
That's the whole reason they're having this fight.
Yeah, that's right. He screwed up. And
Yeah. He doesn't seem like he just seems like a berserker. And then at the end, he's like good match or whatever, and I was like, don't try and make me care about this character that you haven't tried to make me care about before this moment.
Yeah, that's weird.
I wish he was a little bit more fun, because Apollo Creed is such a good antagonist. I kind of wish they were able to equal that.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely. I mean, Apollo Creed's my favorite thing about the Rocky movies. You kind of want him to have his own Apollo, especially because he's the son of Apollo.
Yeah.
So you don't want the other guy to be an analog for Apollo or Rocky on the other side.
But you want someone that's as likable as Apollo.
And speaking of that, we would be remiss before we end if we don't talk about the whole legacy thing, because that's one of the really mature and sophisticated smart ideas in this, I think, is the way it deals with the idea of what you're entitled to versus being an entitled person.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I love the way it's able to be you are your own man and your father's son.
At the same time.
Yeah, you can go your
Those
own way,
are
but also
exclusive.
there are things you cannot escape from being the child of who you're the child of. And I really like that, because...
And you can take that name and be proud of it, and it doesn't mean that you...
Are defined by it.
Or that you can't earn things on your own at the same time.
Yeah, no, I thought all of that was handled incredibly well. It's an amazing script. Just the stuff that they throw in here that shouldn't work, that does work, the new things they bring to the table, the way they're able to spin old things, like, it's a masterful script. Like, especially for this kind of thing where it's like, it's a sequel to a franchise where, like, we're bringing in a new young blood character and
doing that passing the torch thing.
And it works so well. It works
and I like
so
that
well.
Rocky still has things to learn and that they learn things from each other.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think that montage is really cool where and that could have been really silly. But where you have all that stuff in the hospital.
Yeah.
And he's fighting in a different way, and that's a really cool way to do the montage and to have it still be a Rocky montage and that Rocky is involved, but not just in being the coach.
I love that moment in the hospital where he's just there.
And they also
like,
do a good job of not just making him Mickey again. He could have just turned into Mickey.
Yeah,
and they don't do that.
I love that that moment in the hospital where he's there with Rocky. Rocky makes him start shadowboxing.
Yeah.
Like, even while you're here visiting me, you're going to be training.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. I also like that Rocky's kind of flawed in that he's not Mickey. He's kind of a pushover.
Yeah.
Like, he does, and he doesn't realize immediately, but he gets so emotionally connected to that guy. Like, he's like, yeah, I don't think you should do this fight, but I'm going to do whatever you want me to do. He's a little bit more of a pushover than Mickey, and I think that could be something you could explore in a later film, where, like, Rocky's too easily swayed because he's emotionally connected now.
Yeah, there's more for him to learn still. Like, I like the way he, with what you're saying, that he, just lets Creed push him into letting him live in his house. And
yeah, and he just keeps letting Creed push him, because he lets him push him into the first fight and the second fight.
Yeah.
Now, in the second fight, he specifically says, I will do whatever you want. I don't think it's a great idea for you to do this, but I'm not going to stop you. And if you choose to do this, I will be with you every step of the way. But I think there might be a possible character thing to delve into there.
They make it really sad that he's outlived everybody.
Yeah.
Without just making you want to slit your wrists about it.
I love his line where he's
still got a lot of wisdom even while he's making mistakes.
Yeah, I love his line about, like, I would trade all of this for one more day with my wife.
Yeah.
I also love how it's worded, because it's really Rocky. It's really authentically Rocky, where, like, it's a little dumb. Where he's like, I could take it all, put it in the bowl. You can put it all in the bowl for one more day with my wife. And I was like, that feels like what Rocky would say. And it's, I don't know if Stallone touched up any of Rocky's dialogue, but it all feels so authentic.
Yeah, especially because his name isn't on the script.
And he's the only person that's ever written Rocky. And it feels so authentic, the dialogue for Rocky. Not just because he's speaking it, but
that cloud joke is really funny.
That cloud joke is great, and that's so Rocky. And there was a lot of stuff that I had watching this film where I was like, God, it's weird to think that Rocky lived this long. Like, think about the world in the 70s and now the world, and it's so weird.
It's like he lived into like an alien planet or something.
Yeah, he lived into the future.
It's so interesting to look at our world from his perspective.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
I also, real quick, have to mention that the soundtrack is really interesting because I was surprised by how much of the Rocky-type stuff they leave in. And Creed actually gets his own fanfare.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you noticed it, but and it's weird that I like it. I don't. That toward the end of the big fight, they do bring in part of the Rocky score,
they
even though Rocky's not there. They do that. And, Rocky's there, so maybe, okay, but Creed also has his own, which is really good. But the way they integrate it with the modern, rap and R&B stuff, I think it works pretty well.
Yeah, I agree.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. It's a wonderful film.
I don't think I've ever gotten to talk about that on camera either, so...
I'm feeling that.
Sweet. So I'm assuming that whatever you pick next time won't be anything like this movie.
No, we've already decided that what I pick next time is going to be my first time picking a truly terrible film.
On purpose.
Yeah, because I was like, there's this thing, it might be kind of funny if you watch it, but you don't have to watch it. And you're like, no, we'll do it.
And then you told me what the cast was.
Yeah, it's all about the cast.
Even though I know I'm going to want to kill myself, I got to know. I got to know. So, that's He Made Me Watch for today. Thanks a lot for watching this segment, folks.